What's up guys, welcome back to another video here at Cheap Academy, and today we'll be going through ratios. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I promise you it is this easy.
Our learning outcomes for today is to understand what a ratio is, how they are written, and how to simplify them. And also to solve ratio exam questions and learn how to deal with more than one ratio. So, what is a ratio? A ratio shows how much of one thing there is compared to another. They are usually written in the form of A to B. The order in which a ratio is stated is very important, because changing the order of the numbers in the ratio can change the proportions. In this lesson, we will focus on solving ratios as fractions or as linear functions, along with learning how to simplify them. First, let's have a look at ratios as fractions. When given a ratio, we can convert the ratio into a fraction to show the percentage of the ratio on either side. An example of this is Harry has red and blue sweets in a ratio of 8 to 9. What fraction of Harry's sweets are red? Here we would add the numbers of our ratio together, as this will become our denominator for our fraction. Then we simply put the number in our ratio over the sum of the two numbers. So here we do 8 plus 9 equals 17, and we're told in the ratio that the red to blue is 8 to 9, so 8 is our value for red. So our final answer would be 8 over 17 of the sweets are red. Once again, it's that time to have a go at some Maths Genie exam questions. Have a go, pause the video and unpause when you've done. So, in our first question, in a bag there are blue and red sweets. The ratio of blue sweets to red sweets is 5 to 3. What fraction of the sweets are blue? So first we do 5 plus 3 equals 8, and then we look at our ratio and we see 5 is the value of blue. So simply 5 over 8. In our second question, in a bag there are blue and red sweets again, and the ratio of blue sweets to red sweets this time is 2 to 7. What fraction of the sweets are red? So first we do 2 plus 7, which equals 9, and we look at our ratio again and see red is the value of 7. So final answer would be 7 over 9. And then, same in our third question, in a bag there are blue and red sweets. The ratio of blue sweets to red sweets this time is 4 to 9. What is the fraction of sweets are blue? Here we do 4 plus 9 equals 13, and as we can see, 4 is the value of blue. So we simply write 4 over 13. Now, there's another type of ratio you will be asked in your exam, and now it's writing your ratios as a linear function. Ratios as linear functions simply mean we now have more than two variables in our ratio. You'll be given two separate ratios and you'll have to write it all as one whole ratio. In our example here, A to B is 5 to 6, but A to C is 8 to 3. As we have the same variable of A, we need to find the lowest common multiple, which is 40 in this instance. So we do 5 times 8, which equals 40. So we now multiply the first ratio by 8, as 8 is on the other side of A, and the second one by 5. Because to get from 8 to 40 we times by 5, and to get to 5 to 40 we times by 8. So now our ratios below is what we would do if we multiply both sides by each numbers. So A to B is now 40 to 45, and A to C is 40 to 13. And as we have a common one of A, we can now write this all as one whole ratio, which is 40 to 45 to 15. Now it's time to have a go at some ratios as linear function exam questions. Have a go, pause the video and unpause when you've done. So, in our first question, given that AB is 3 to 7 and AC is 4 to 3, find the ratio of A to B to C. Give your answer in its simplest form. So first we write down our ratio, and then second we find our lowest common multiple, which is 12. So we do 3 times 4 equals 12. So we times our first ratio by 4 and our second ratio by 3, which now gives us A to B is 12 to 28 and A to C is 12 to 9. And now we can write this as one whole ratio, which is 12 to 28 to 9. And that's your final answer, which is 12, 28 and to 9. In our second question, given that A to C is 1 to 6 and B to C is 2 to 5, find the ratio of A to B to C, and give your answer in its simplest form. So first we write it down, And now we need to find the lowest common multiple of c, which is 30, because 6 times 5 equals 30. So we times our first ratio by 5 and our second ratio by 6. So A to C is now 5 to 30 and B to C is now 12 to 30. So our final whole ratio would be 5 to 12 to 30. And that is your final answer. Now it's time to have a go at some of the hardest exam questions you'll probably ask on ratios, as fractions, or as linear functions. Have a go, pause the video and unpause when you've done. Now, in a company, the ratio of men to women is 2 to 3, and 30% of the women are under the age of 30. What fraction of all the people in the company are women under the age of 30? So first, let's write down the ratio of men to women as fractions. So 2/5 are men and 3/5 are women. 30% can also be written as 3 over 10, and this is how much of the women are under 30. So now we do 3/5 times 3/10, because we're doing 30% of the 3/5. This gives us the answer of 9 over 50. So the total fraction of all the people in the company that are women under the age of 30 is 9 over 50. Now, in our second question, A and B are in the ratio of 4 to 3, and C and D are in the ratio of 1 to 5. Given that 3 times the bracket of A plus B equals C plus D. Find A to B to C to D. So first, let's write out our two ratios, with A to B 4 to 3 and C to D 1 to 5. Now, as we don't have a common variable, we simply find the sum of one ratio and multiply it by the other ratio. What I mean by this, we do 4 plus 3 equals 7, then we times C and D by 7. And we do C plus D equals 6, and we times the ratio of A to B by 6. Which now gives us the ratio of 24 to 18 to 7 to 35. Now, given that 3 to the bracket of A plus B equals C to D, we know that 3 to the bracket of A plus B equals 7 plus 35. And looking at our ratio 24 to 18, we know this can be simplified by dividing by 3. So we divide by 3, 24 divided by 3 equals 8, and 18 divided by 3 equals 6. So our final ratio of all four of A to B to C to D is 8 to 6 to 7 to 35. And that is your final answer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of today's lesson. And I did say it was that easy. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.